Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Early Bird Betting Show here, presented by the Coda Sports Gambling Network here. Of course, it is June 11th, Friday, as I turn some lights on, kind of dark in the background here. Of course, you can follow the Coda Cappers Network at Coda Cappers, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Coda Capper Pace. And of course, every single day, alongside me here on YouTube and Facebook Live is Comb Dog. Comb Dog, how you doing this morning?
Not too bad. My all underdog card yesterday didn't pan out too well for me. The Twins did pull it out for me though. That was a crazy game, but no, not too bad. But definitely got some improvement to do over the weekend.
Absolutely. So we have a fair amount of games here in the MLB today. Not so much with two NBA games, and I don't think any hockey games here today. So. But that Twins game, Kyle, man, they were down and the Yankees went up early, and the Twins had a heck of a ninth inning there as they scored, 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth to get the 7-5 win. I had the Twins money line, which was a nice little payout there, just to put 1 unit on it, unfortunately, but it did not look good early, and the Yankees just kind of gave it away there in the ninth.
Yeah, They did. It's certain. Aroldis Chapman is slowly but surely starting to show his age a little bit here, I think. But I couldn't believe it. I went to bed last night at a fairly decent time, and I'm like, okay, I'm about to go 0-4. That Giants Nationals game got postponed to today, so I'm like, I'm about to go 0-4 here, and then I wake up to find out the Twins won the game. I'm like, what the heck?
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Those are always the best when, especially this late Clippers-Jazz game, I was just struggling to fall asleep. It was late, and I had, of course, the Jazz -3, and I'm like, all of a sudden I woke up, and it was early, and I had to check the score, so checked out that we won. Obviously, that's good, but those are always good when you fall asleep and you wake up with a winner. Never good when you wake up with a loser, though.
That's right.
So the Jazz, of course, got it done last night against the Clippers at home. Donovan Mitchell, again, 37-3-4. Playoff P, 27-10-6 as he led the Clippers, but the Jazz got it done 117-111 and go up 2-rip on the Los Angeles Clippers. The Bucks, though, Kyle, finally got one, and man, this was nowhere near the total. I believe was at tip-off, it was 234. The Bucks got it done 86-83. Brooklyn now leads that series 2-1. And very interesting, if you, depending what line you got the Bucks or the Nets at, I guess it could have been a win or a loss. I had the Nets plus 3.5, so lucked out there. And I know some other people had Bucks minus 2.5, so that's that takes care of business there as well. So yeah, the Bucks get one. Kyle, did you see any of those two games?
I didn't. I'm just fairly surprised with how good Kawhi Leonard was shooting against the Mavericks, how he's just been going cold all of a sudden. It was pretty shocking to me. But
yeah, at one point, I think in the third quarter, TNT threw up a graphic that Donovan Mitchell had 72 points or something in this series, and Playoff P and Kawhi had combined 67. So kind of funny there.
That's crazy.
He is going off, and that Jazz team can just drain from anywhere. Joe Ingles, Jordan Clarkson, the sixth man of the year. Obviously, Rudy Gobert, the defensive player of the year. This team's loaded, and I don't know. A sweep? Is it in their near future? I guess we'll see. But tonight here for June 11th, Friday, we have the 76ers for their second game on the road against the Atlanta Hawks. One of these teams is going to go up 2-1 in this series. Philadelphia -1. I think they opened at -1.5. It's now dropped down. The over-under is 224.5. Then you have the Suns and the Nuggets. Phoenix heads on the road for the first time in this series to take on the Nuggets, of course. The Suns 24-12 on the road, while the Nuggets are 25-11. Phoenix, though, leads this series 2-0. The Nuggets -1.5. The over-under here 223. So, Kyle, out of these two games, what do you like here?
You know, this might be the toughest NBA slate we've had since we've done the morning show to handicap, I guess. But I'm gonna go Philadelphia here -1. I think they can get it done now that Embiid is back and is starting to be a little healthier. I think game one was Embiid went down, didn't return. So I think having him back has been key for the 76ers to be successful. I think they're going to continue that on the road here at Atlanta. So I like Philadelphia -1. I think that I got the money line -120, a little more juice. So I like the spread just to drink a little less juice. And actually, in this Phoenix Suns Denver game, I'm going to go the over 223. Anytime Denver hosts, that over seems to always hit. I know Phoenix is a pretty dominant defensive team, but Denver loves to hit overs at home. So I like the over 223 for the Suns and Nuggets game.
All right. I like it. I like it. The Nuggets, you'd think, have to score some points here, right? To stay in this series, they're going to have to score some points. And so Kyle is taking the over 223. I also like the 76ers. Embiid seems to be healthy. He looked healthy in game 2. They dominated, and they got one, obviously, there. So it's 1-1. I think Embiid comes out, the 76ers play well, and get another big win here on the road and then head home, and we'll see if they can close this series out. The Hawks, I'm not going to call their game 1 win a fluke, but, of course, Embiid leaving the game kind of left the door open for the Hawks to stay in the contest. So Embiid's back. He's healthy. I'm going to take the 76ers on the road here, -1. And in this Nuggets-Suns game, I'm going to roll with the Nuggets. The 1 seed, the MVP, these guys can't go down 3-0, right? The NBA won't allow that, Kyle, if you're a conspiracy person like that. But they did let the Warriors lose, so I guess, I don't know. Maybe that's not true. The Nuggets, though, I like the Nuggets here at home, -1.5. I might even just hit them money line. I know, like Kyle said, it's a little more juice, but then all they have to do is win, right? And so I might even take that action. And I lean the over here, too, 223. But I like the Nuggets here and the 76ers in these two contests.
All right, both favorites.
Yes, sir, both favorites. Of course, no NHL here for Friday. We can kind of just touch on what happened last night, real brief, and let's see if I can get. There we go. Of course, the Golden Knights 6-3 over the Colorado Avalanche. I saw some reports, some articles this morning calling the Avalanche just. They folded and just not sure what happened, right? They not that they gave up, just one of the greatest comebacks ever. The Golden Knights down 2-0 and they win 4 straight games and take the series 4-2. They score 6 goals at home and win that 6-3. So, Kyle, were you surprised by this? I know I was on the Avalanche last night. I thought there would be a Game 7, but the Golden Knights get it done.
I was really surprised because I actually predicted on Gambling Feud that the Avalanche would go on to win the Stanley Cup. So that's not a good look for me, but regardless, I'm surprised that they played as bad as they did, but I am looking forward to that Canadiens Golden Knights Western Conference Finals game to see the battle of the goalies between Carey Price and Marc-Andre Fleury. I think it's going to be very, very low scoring series between these two squads. So I'm looking forward to that game for sure. Obviously, no one likes watching a low scoring Stanley Cup playoff game, but I think that's what the series is going to be.
Absolutely. And I think the lower seeds, Kyle, in the NHL playoffs were like 9-3 winning the series. Because if we look at the Final Four teams here, we have the Islanders, a 4 seed, Tampa Bay, a 3 seed, Montreal, a 4 seed, and then, of course, the Vegas Golden Knights, a 2 seed. But, you know, like the 2 seed lost, the Capitals lost. Obviously, the Penguins lost. They were the 1 seed. And Tampa Bay got past the Florida Panthers. They were the 3 seed. And then, of course, Tampa Bay knocks off Carolina. They were the 1 seed. And then in the hockey or the Canadian division, Montreal defeated the Maple Leafs. They were the 1 seed, and the Jets beat the Oilers. They were the 3 seed. So I'm excited to ask B Russ because I know B Russ is our hockey guy on Monday's episode of the Mount Lockmore podcast. Like, does the regular season in hockey even matter? You know?
Yeah.
So
it's a fair point because, like I said, I'm still in shock that the Penguins lost to the Islanders, but that the Islanders have been playing, it's not really that big of a shock, and how they've been doing against Boston. But man, I thought the Penguins were at least going to get past the Islanders.
Absolutely. I thought that was surprising as well. So a lot of higher seeds making it. And we've seen that in the past too, Kyle, right? Didn't the LA Kings win as like an 8 seed? And then a couple years ago, and then like the St. Louis Blues, who are like the worst team in the NHL, at the trade deadline or something, end up going to win the Stanley Cup too. So just kind of crazy how hockey works.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't happen very often that an 8 seed beats a 1 seed. I think the Lightning did it a couple of years ago. I think they actually got swept as a 1 seed if I remember right. Okay. But it doesn't happen very often. But I think you're right. I think the Kings were either an 8 seed or pretty low, and so were the Blues. But it doesn't happen very often that like a low seed beats like a upper seed, but this year is just kind of an anomaly.
Yeah, absolutely. And to the Vegas Golden Knights, what a story, right? They've been in the league for, is this their 4th year, I think, and they've been to the playoffs every single year, and I think they've been to the conference finals 3 years out of those 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then they lost that fourth, or that it would have been their second year in the league. I think they lost in the first round. But
yeah, and they lost their first year in the finals to Ovechkin and the Capitals.
Yep, that's right. So, yeah, just a great story, right? Down 2-0 to the betting favorite in Vegas, the Colorado Avalanche, and end up winning the series 4-2. So there we go. Next round of games will start on Sunday. So we'll be back on Monday, of course, with our plays in the NHL playoffs, as we have 4 teams left, getting down to closer and closer to the Stanley Cup time. So it should be fun.
Yep.
All right, Kyle, we have a handful of games here in the MLB, which is good. With no hockey on tonight, we can kind of focus more on some baseball. We have one early game here at 1:20 Central Time. The Cardinals taking on the Cubs. The Cubs minus 135 at home. The over-under is at 9. Then at 6:05 Central, you have the San Francisco Giants taking on the Washington Nationals. The Nationals minus 172. The over-under here is 7.5. Then you have the Atlanta Braves taking on the Miami Marlins. The Braves minus 115. The over-under 7.5. Then at 6:10 as well, you have the Baltimore Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays minus 160. Over-under here is 7.5. That is what? 1, 2. We'll go one more game, make it 5 games. Then you have the Chicago White Sox taking on the Detroit Tigers in an AL Central contest. The White Sox minus 157 as Lucas Giolito is going for the White Sox. The over-under here 8.5. So, Kyle, out of those 4 games, what do you like here?
I like a couple run lines here in this slate of games. I really like the Tigers run, or not the Tigers. No. The White Sox run line against the Tigers. Lucas Giolito's been having a fairly decent year so far. I like him against this Tariq Skubal for the Tigers. So I like the White Sox minus 1.5. What was the other one I saw? I lost it. But anyways, I'm going to do, because it's Friday and you got to do a crazy parlay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a parlay in this Giants-Nationals game. I'm going to parlay a no-run first inning with the Giants money line.
Okay. All right.
So I think that's the move there. And then just because I'm taking Cubs money line, I think they can get it done against Johan Oviedo of the Cardinals, who's 0-2 this year with a 5.25 ERA. I think the Cubs can win that game pretty good too. So I like the Cubs money line as well.
All right, sounds good. I like that. Of course, if you're looking for Kyle's best bets, you can follow him on Twitter at KOMMDOG. Of course, he is part of the Gambling Feud podcast here, one of the podcasts on the Cody Cappers Network. And all right, so there's Kyle's play here for those early couple games. I like the under here in this Tigers-White Sox game as well. If you look at Giolito, what he's done in the past, let's see, one of his wins in his last, 5 wins have gone over. Everything else has been pretty small. You look at his wins here against the Orioles, 3-1, 2-1 versus the Twins, 6-2 versus the Royals, and 2-0 versus the Indians. So not too bad. So I'm going to take the under here and roll with that and see if we can cash with that. That's one bet I like here. And let's see if I can find my other one here, as notes kind of taking a little longer. I like the Marlins here at home, little plus money. I know the Braves have Charlie Morton on the mound. He's 5-2 with a 4.21 ERA, but the Marlins coming off a win, of course, against the Rockies at home. Still, I just think that they're going to be ready to go and more focused here against a Braves squad who is much better than the Colorado Rockies, and a little plus money at home. So I'm going to roll with the Miami Marlins here, Kyle, money line, and I like those 2 bets there.
I like it.
In the other set of games here we have, of course, at 6:10 Central, you have the Colorado Rockies, 5-24 on the road, taking on the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds minus 210. The over-under here is at 9. Then you have the San Diego Padres going to New York. This series was out in San Diego, last week, I believe. Now they kind of flip the sides of the United States, and the Mets host the Padres. The Mets minus 160. Over under, the lowest one of the day, 5.5, as Jacob deGrom is on the mound. A .62 ERA, 5-2 record here this season. Then you have the Seattle Mariners taking on the Cleveland Indians. The Indians minus 160. Over under is at 9. Let's see, that is 1, 2. Let's go 2 more games here. And then you have the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox minus 121. Over under 9.5. And then a final one here, Kyle. You have the As Kyle's cat makes a quick appearance, you have the Houston Astros taking on the Minnesota Twins. The Twins on that one-game winning streak there as they defeat the Yankees, of course, last night. The Astros, though, minus 157. Over-under is at 11. Matt Shoemaker on the mound, 2-7. 7.28 ERA for Minnesota. So, Kyle, out of those five, what do you like here?
I really, really like the Reds run line here. I can get that at minus 110 on my sports book. You know, Tyler Mahle, he gave up like 7 earned runs in May 2020. Ever since then, he's been 3-0 with a 1.04 ERA. So he's just been really, really solid for the Reds. So I think against a really, really struggling Rockies lineup, I think the Reds will win by 2+. So I like that there. And I was, out of any no-run first inning, this is the highest juice you'd have to take, but this Padres Mets no-run first inning with Blake Snell and DeGrom, I really, really want to hit, but I can get that at minus 180. Oof. So that's a lot of juice for a no-run first inning. So I'm not willing to do that. Do I think it's going to be a no-run first inning? Absolutely, but I'm not drinking that juice. This is going to sound really, really crazy. I'm going to take the under 5.5 here.
Okay.
How good DeGrom has been all year long. I mean, he has a less than 1 ERA, and I think Snell's going to pitch really, really well against his Mets. I think it could be like a 2-1 or a 3-1 game. So I'm actually going to be really, really bold here and take the under 5.5 for this game.
All right. I like it. There's Kyle's picks for this time slot here. In this Padres-Mets game, I am going to make a play, and I'm going to take under 3.5 runs for the New York Mets. That's what I'm going to roll with. Like Kyle said, it could be 2-1, 3-1. Heck, the Mets could win. I don't care. Just get me under 3.5 runs. Don't score 4 runs. That's all I'm asking. So I'm going to take them under 3.5 runs. I think this could be a very, very low-scoring contest. And then in my other picks here, I like the Mariners against the Indians just straight up. The Mariners, pretty good action lately here, and a good price here to back Seattle with Justin Dunn on the mound. In his 9 starts this season, he has posted a 3.18 ERA and a 1.191 whip. He's coming in hot, though, with a 2.2 ERA and over his last 3 starts. So I think the Mariners, they're on the road. I get that, but Justin Dunn has been playing well lately, and I can get them at plus 146. That's a lot of plus action here against the Cleveland Indians, who are just 14-12 at home. So those are my 2 plays. And then, of course, I'm actually going to roll with the under in the Astros and Minnesota Twins game here. I know the Twins have been the most profitable team on the over this season. I think they've hit at 67% of the overs so far this season through 62 games, I believe. So, but who knows what the weather's going to be like? It says it's going to be 85 degrees and cloudy in the Twin Cities. I think there was some rain there this morning, so if the rain continues, I don't know. It could hit the under there, and who knows? So you always got to be paying attention to the weather, Kyle. But those are my 3 bets there.
I like it.
All right. So there we go. With 4 games left here for Friday, June 11th, the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, the largest favorite here today at minus 295. That's incredible. The over-under is at 7.5. The Angels taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Angels minus 135. Over-under is at 9. Then at 8:40 Central Time, the Oakland A's taking on the Kansas City Royals. The A's minus 130. Over/under 8.5, and then I misspoke here. The Dodgers are the biggest favorite here today, minus 330. Over/under 7.5 at 9:10 Central Time. There, Kyle. So out of those games, what do you like here?
There's some heavy favorites in that last game, man. Oh my goodness. If you're feeling risky, I don't think it's gonna happen. But if you're feeling risky, sprinkle like a half unit on that Pirates money line or that Rangers money line just to get a little bit of juice back. But I mean, do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. But if you're feeling bold and risky, go for it. But I like the Pirates run line and the Dodgers run line. I just think not the Pirates, no, the Brewers run line. Brewers run line. I think Brandon Woodruff has had a really, really solid season so far. I think that he'll shut down this Pirates lineup that's been struggling quite a bit. And then Dodgers got Clayton Kershaw on the mound, which is why they're such heavy favorites. But Kershaw he's been okay, but he hasn't been Clayton Kershaw as far as numbers goes this year. He's 7-5 with a 3.66 ERA. But I do like the Brewers run line. I like the Dodgers run line. And I like the Angels here too with Shohei Ohtani on the mound. I always bet on the Angels when Ohtani's on the mound because he's been doing really, really solid. His last outing, he was against the Mariners. He struck out 10 without a walk for 6 innings. So, I mean, he's been doing really, really well for them. So I like the Brewers run line, I like the Dodgers run line, like the Angels money line.
All right, there we go. Of course, if you want to find Kyle's best bets that he's playing here today, you can find him on Twitter at KOMMDOG, of course. All right, so there's Kyle's picks there. I like trying to think here. I like the Diamondbacks here at home, little plus money. I'm going to kind of go the opposite way of Kyle and take the Diamondbacks in this contest at 8:40 Central Time. Merrill Kelly going for the D-backs, 2-6, a 5.12 ERA. So not great, but again, plus money at home. Both these teams really struggle. D-backs kind of struggle at home. Angels 12-16 on the road. So I'm going to take the D-backs here with some plus money. Then I'm going to take the Oakland Athletics. The Royals scored 6 runs last night, but in their previous 5 games, I believe they are averaging like just over 1 run per game. So I'm going to take the A's here. Cole Irvine on the mound, 4-6, a 3.89 ERA going against Brady Singer, who hasn't been terrible, but again, 3-5 at 4.88 ERA. I'm going to roll with the home team here, the Oakland Athletics. And like Kyle said earlier in the show here, we have to do a Freaky Friday parlay, right? So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit, a little tiny bit on the Pirates and Rangers parlay there. Kyle, and
roll. Wow.
Yeah, very small, very small.
I would do like a quarter of a unit on that.
I might do less. We'll see.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is freaky and that's bold. Wow, yeah. That is not what I was expecting.
Surprise, Kyle, there here on this Friday morning. So again, you can get the Rangers at plus 330 and the Pirates at plus 295. Hey, it's freaky. It's Friday, and let's parlay those two and see what the odds are on that. So we'll ride with that Freaky Friday parlay there, Kyle.
I like it.
Awesome. All right. So of course, no NHL here. A couple NBA games we went through, and then we went through the WNBA here real quick as well. We went through the MLB, the WNBA for Friday, June 11th. We have 2 games here. The Seattle Storm, 8-2, 3-2 on the road, take on the Atlanta Dream, 4-5, 1-3 at home. Seattle -10, the over/under 168.5. Then of course, Kyle's favorite team, wink wink, the Dallas Wings taking on the Phoenix Mercury. The Mercury -2.5, the over/under 165 for this game, at 9 Central Time. So Kyle, out of these 2 games, what do you like here?
Biggest one for me is this Phoenix Mercury game. I like the -2.5 again. When I bet WNBA, it's really, really hard for me to bet against a team that has Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner on it. It's really hard for me to do. So I like the Phoenix Mercury -2.5, and with it being against Dallas, that's an even bigger pull for me. But crazy enough, I'm actually going to take the Dream +10. I think they're going to play Seattle fairly close. I think Seattle beat them by 12 or 13 the last time these 2 teams played. So I think it's going to be fairly close. That a 10-point spread is a lot. So I'm going to take the Dream +10 here.
All right. Sounds good. Kyle, the Seattle Storm beat the Dream on the 9th of June. So 2 days ago, 95-71. So 24.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that change your pick at all, Kyle?
Yeah, it does actually, now that you mention it. So I'm going to change my pick to Seattle -10 here.
All right. Just a real quick change there for Kyle. I'm going to stick with the Dream, right? The Dream, they were on the road in Seattle. Now they come all the way back home, and 95-71, yeah, that scares me a little bit, but I'm thinking they can figure it out defensively, score a few more points, hold Seattle. So I'm going to take still the Dream here, +10, I should say. And then I love the Mercury here. The Wings beat the Mercury a couple days ago, 85-81. I think the Mercury come back. They bounce back. They haven't been great at home, just 1-3. Brittany Griner's going to have a big game, and Diana Taurasi as well. I just think the Mercury, they're mad that they lost the first game here. A couple days later now, June 11th, Friday. I think they get a big win here. 5 points or maybe even double digits. 5 to 10 points here for the Phoenix Mercury. So I'm going to roll with the Phoenix Mercury -2.5 there.
And I'm just going to throw a spoiler out to the people at home. The Phoenix Mercury -2.5 is actually going to be my mortal lock today.
Oh.
I really like that line.
All right. I like it. Again, Kyle, so for the people watching here, Kyle, you guys do on Gambling Feud 1 mortal lock a week, right?
Yep. So basically how me and DJ do it is we don't keep track of plus or minus. We just do record. So like every game is like 1 win or 1 loss. So technically like a 1-unit bet, but once a week we have to do what's called a mortal lock, which is basically like the best lock of the week we think are going to for sure hit. and that's actually worth 5. So if you win, it's 5 wins. If you lose, it's 5 losses. So basically, it's like you have 35 bets in a week, but one of them is worth 5 units. Is basically what it comes down to. So I was 4-1 last month. My Mortal Locks, I actually did really, really good. DJ on the flip side was 1-4. So we're just it completely varies, but it could make or break your month. Actually, the very first month of January, it came down to the Mortal Lock. We were tied, and we both had a Mortal Lock. Mine missed, his hit, so that's what came down to win. So it can make or break your month.
Absolutely. That's pretty cool. I like that you guys do that, the Mortal Lock. So Kyle is going today, a little spoiler, his Mortal Lock, the Phoenix Mercury, -2.5 there at home against the Dallas Wings. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, for listening. Comment, like, subscribe. Of course, you can follow Kyle on Twitter, and his podcast, the Gambling Feud Podcast, comes out every single Wednesday. And who's your guest next week, Kyle? Any spoiler alerts there?
Guest is going to be a friend of DJ's. I'm not exactly sure who it is yet. We're still trying to work some details out. Eventually, we're going to try and get the other cappers who haven't been on yet and try and get them on a little bit. We're going to try and get Kayla and get Dan on too. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. So again, check that out every single Wednesday morning. That episode drops. Episode 19 will be next week. If you're looking for past episode 18, of course, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play. And the Mount Lockmore podcast, B-Russ was out yesterday, so I had to do it solo. It was kind of a different podcast, but a fun podcast. Couple water breaks in there as I was talking by myself. So if you're looking for that, the Mount Lockmore podcast, episode 49, of course, Spotify, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts as well. There you can find that. Thursday's episode 49. B-Russ will be back on Monday. Big show, though. Episode 50, Kyle, on Monday.
Nice.
So there we go. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. As always, follow the Coda Capper Sports Network at Coda Cappers on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you're looking for some daily articles, the Euro 2020 starts today. And one of our new bloggers, cappers, Dan, has already written one. Is it Turkey versus Italy, I think, happens today. So he's written one blog about that. He's going to have another blog coming out for a Saturday match. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Kyle's doing some daily capper picks as well. So if you're looking for his analysis, he'll be posting that as well as he posted his yesterday for Thursday. But today, of course, June 11th, Kyle, thanks as always for joining us. And we'll see everybody on Monday.